Hey guys, I just wanted to quickly jump on here with my friend Bonaparte to talk about one of my favorite transformations. So you can see Richard here, he went from about 22% body fat down to 10 to 12% in only 10 weeks. Now, super impressive transformation. And here I just want to talk about how you can achieve a transformation like this as well, what guidelines you should go by, what principles you should respect. I'm David Mirza. I'm a body transformation specialist based in central London, and this is what I do for a living. I just help ordinary people get in the best shape of their lives. I believe success in body transformations comes down to four key elements: goal setting, nutrition, training, and accountability. So, if we just look at the goal setting with Richard's example, we have to initially figure out where we start from, where we want to get to, and what time frame would be realistic to achieve that. So, Richard was 75 kilos and about 22% body fat when he started with me. And he just signed up, wanted to get into back to his old best shape, having abs, feeling good in his skin. And most people, in my opinion, achieve that when they get to about 10 to 12% body fat. So that's when abs will start to come out. That's when everyone starts getting super happy with themselves. Some people it takes a bit longer, they need to be a bit leaner. For others, maybe they're happier with a bit higher number. But in general, I think most guys, when they just want their abs to show, they want to get to 10 to 12% body fat. So if we did a quick math, when we know that his initial body weight was 75 kilos and 22% body fat, we quickly can get that the goal of 12% body fat will happen around 67 kilograms. So that's exactly the goal we set for him, and that's exactly what we got down to. The next question is, what time frame would be realistic? If you look at it, it would be a total weight loss of about 8 kilos. That's also about 11% of his total body weight, and I think a good time frame to progress at is losing anywhere between half to 1.5% of body weight per week. So in Richard's case, we had 8 kilos to lose in total and at a rate of 0.8 kilos per week. So a realistic time frame would be about a realistic, slightly optimistic time frame would be 10 weeks to aim for. And that's exactly what we did. We achieved the initial goal in 10 weeks. Now, I'm well aware that most of you guys watching this will have potentially more than 8 kilos to lose, potentially you're a bit larger, and that doesn't really mean anything. You can still apply the same principles, you can still account for 1% weight lost per week, and maybe if you have a bit more to lose, you can just be a bit more conservative with your estimates. Maybe you can aim for 0.5% lost per week and still set out your deadline. Now let's talk about nutrition. Everything I will say here, you have to appreciate that it's very individual, it's tailored to the person, tailored to their individual circumstances, tailored to where the whole transformation is taking place. So with Richard, because I had background information of him, him being the husband of a client I already had, I knew that he was a super determined and focused person. So I knew that if I estimate his maintenance calories at around 2200, I can put him in a relatively, actually a quite large calorie deficit of about 25-30%. Now, would I do this with anyone? Definitely not. But the reason I did it with Richard was that I knew already that he was the kind of person that can pull it off. I have the experience to help someone through a larger deficit without them being very hungry, so I can help him with that as well. And also, the whole transformation happened throughout lockdown. Part of the reason why he signed up was that he wanted something to focus on. He wanted a sense of achievement, and I wanted to help him with that as well. So I just wanted as quick a result as possible, as aggressively as possible, without detrimental effects. So we estimated his maintenance at 2200 and set out a goal of 1600. And his protein goal was 170 grams, which is 2.2 grams per body weight. So he was 75 kilos to start with, and his protein goal was 170. And actually, I didn't give him a carb and fat goal to aim for, so however he distributed the remaining calories between those two was up to him. Obviously, you don't want to go super low with either fats or carbs. As long as you hit a decent number of each, you're fine. He immediately started dropping, initially a bit quicker, but then it tapered down to 1% drop per week, and that's exactly how we ended up with the goal weight of 67 kilograms. Now, let's talk about training next. Now, how he managed his training is actually something I'm really proud of because, again, it was lockdown. He didn't have any equipment, basically. He had a set of bands that I made him order. He had a pull-up bar, and two 10-kilo dumbbells and maybe some weight plates, and that was it. So instead of doing any silly jumping home exercises, we were tailoring a program that allowed him to progressively get stronger and therefore maintain his muscle mass as he dieted. Obviously, when you diet, especially when you diet aggressively, losing muscle mass is quite a big danger, but if you lose muscle, you're not actually going to look any better. So our goal is just to get rid of as much fat as possible and maintain as much muscle as possible, and this is why we just needed to get stronger in basic movements. So actually we just did whatever we could and progressively increased either the sets, the number of reps, or the load wherever we could. And sometimes the load meant using more weight, and sometimes it just meant stronger bands, and sometimes the combination of the two. So actually we had to be really inventive with this. He only trained 3 times a week, so that's pretty much 3 times 50 minutes. Every day was full body, so he had an upper push movement, something for chest and shoulders, upper pull, something for back, a lower push, quads, glutes, and a lower pull, glutes, hamstrings kind of stuff. And then we did some accessory movements, so maybe some shoulders, maybe some arms, maybe some abs, and that was it pretty much. Pretty simple, but it did the job. What's more important is that progressively he was getting stronger and doing more work over time. Now this leaves us with the last bit to talk about, which would be accountability. So you know what to do with training, you know what to do with your food, you have your goal to aim for, but over time, everything will start sabotaging you. Your family will start complaining that you look too thin, your friends start getting jealous that you're in better shape than them, you will start getting tired, growing tired of dieting, and maybe get complacent with how you look and forget what you originally aimed for. And these things always happen. So the hard job is figuring out how to keep someone's focus on the initial goal. And after about 7 or 8 weeks, Richard was getting very happy with himself. He had already lost 5 kilos. He went from 75 to 70 kilos. He was looking a bit better. He didn't really have too much abs going on yet, but he was growing tired enough of training and being on his nutrition that he wanted to slow down. So in order to keep him accountable, after a little bit of convincing, he agreed to do a photo shoot, and that refreshed his goal in his mind and also gave him a deadline for his diet to end. Now obviously there are much more intricate details that concern all these factors: goal setting, training, nutrition, and accountability. So if there's anything that you want me to go into more detail on and do a different video on, then just let me know in the comments and I will do that for you. Also, if you have any questions, please leave a comment. I'm happy to answer. And if you want to work with me personally, then you will find a form in the description that you can submit to send me an inquiry. Right. If you want more of this kind of content, please hit subscribe, please hit like so I can pop up for more people, and thank you for watching. Bye bye.